Hey Scorpios, this is Hal for HES Ultimage, and this is your channeled forecast for the month of November. Hey guys, so no more long announcements. I learned my lesson with that. It'll just be a few minutes. So first off, I am no longer using tarot and oracle cards. I am pretty much doing directly channeled messages. I made these index cards that are kind of my channeling flashcards, if you will. But yeah, mostly the entire message is now channeled, so there's no point in having tarot and oracle cards. I've evolved beyond them. So yeah, so now I'm just going to, what I do is I channel ahead of the video, I take down the bullet points, and then I just give you the information, and sometimes I just have to channel in to make sure I'm staying on target and on message. Okay, the other thing is that I am now offering $20 readings, which is the lowest rate I have ever done in my entire career, including my debut. This is because these are what I call a la carte readings, which are one short question and mini monthly. Okay, so if you want to check that out, you can go to hesultimage.com for personal readings. They've been very popular so far. Only my subscribers knew about it until now. So this is the official public message, but people have been enjoying them a lot so far, and I hope that you'll take advantage of that. Okay, all right. And yeah, it's because back then I didn't feel confident about doing a reading quite so short because it took me a while to figure out with cards and spreads. And now it's like I can just channel the message so quickly and so precisely that it's like now I feel good about doing these short readings within that time frame and within that quality. Okay. All right. So that said, let's get on to your message. All right. Okay. So for Scorpios for November, here we go. First thing is the concept that inactivity or lack of action or lack of dramatic action matters this month. You want to make sure that you play things closer to the chest and make sure that you don't do anything volatile, okay? Very, very key for November. All right? And I also got that there's going to be pressures. So you want to make sure that you're careful about overworking, straining yourself to any degree, taking on more than you can handle, or biting off more than you can chew, or lumping yourself, lumping on other people's problems onto yours, or any other people's stresses onto yours. There's going to be a delicacy to how you receive stress, okay? It's almost like you're going to be more susceptible to it. Imagine if it were like your immunity was lowered and you could catch a cold easier. You're going to catch stress easier, and you're going to deal with it in a way that would be less than desirable just because you would be more irritable or more vulnerable to that stress and how you would, react towards it. So this is what the guidance is really a lot about. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'll leave that one until later. Okay. All right, and I literally got that you must be vigilant, okay? Because you will be under that stress. I feel like the stress will occur regardless. It's more about how you deal with it. That's going to be very key. All right? So I would say, it's all about reflection and going, okay, this is what my inner reaction is to this. How can I help amend this feeling to make it more appropriate and more accommodating to a broader focus on how I'm influencing my surroundings? Okay, so I'm going to give you a few examples because I know that went pretty philosophical. Let's say that work was stressing you out, and maybe it was a coworker. Then the way that you would, have to confront that coworker would be in a very diplomatic manner and in a very sensitive manner, okay? Because there's a lot of risk this month to act over the top, to act very drastically, okay? Because that's the other pinpoint. It's like, you must not react drastically to anything, okay? Here we go, more examples. Let's say that you have a partner and they do something you're not happy with. Whether that's, they make some sort of life decision that's contrary to your growth together, or if, you know, you accuse them of flirting or something, because it could manifest in any way this month. That any kind of dramatic or drastic approach to confrontation of that stress or strain, whatever it is going to act very negatively in your favor. You know, you need to be more diplomatic, you need to be more sensitive to how you express yourself this month, and not go on the offensive, not go, okay. Because when I got the dramatic energy, it was through the serenader energy, and that's like very, very dramatic highs and lows, okay? So you want to avoid those kinds of things. Okay. All right. Let me look at some of these other key points now, guys, because we've got a few more. Okay, yeah, and I literally got, like, be very careful about acting out of turn. So if this had to do with somebody who is an authority figure, I know people from all walks of life watch my channel, so if it were a boss or an executive in a company that you work for, or if it were even like a professor or you know, anybody who is of a higher office within your periphery. Like if you were self-employed, it could even be a client, that you be very careful about not being too volatile. Because again, acting out of turn specifically sounds like you might even feel compelled to just like tell someone off or be kind of rude about something, which, you know, in November is a big risk factor, okay? And you want to completely take down that risk so that you don't even have to worry about it by being aware, okay? All right, give me 1 second. Okay. All right. The other key point for this particular area is try to take a lighter hand or touch to any given circumstance or situation. That means how you apply pressure to the situation matters. And I know that I talked a little bit now about, you know, how you approach a person or interact as, you know, your choice of words or the gesture that you convey at the end of the day, whether it's a confrontation or whether it's, you know, if it was a stress as far as to a project or an act that was needed to be done, whether that's domestic or work related, that you do it in a way that, again, you have a sense of diplomacy and or fairness, like sensitivity to it. Because again, the biggest risk this month for Scorpios is that you're going to act more drastically than necessary, and the drastic approach is going to be what winds up, you know, causing an issue. Okay. All right. Last key point for this, there's like this additional hurdle. Yeah, this is like a separate area now. Enticement can be a problem this month for Scorpios for November. So this means, you know, okay, overindulgences of any kind, any kinds of things that tempt you, okay? Whether that's, you know, we all have our different temptations. For some people, this could be, you know, eating in a way that, you know, doesn't make you feel good, but it's tempting at the time. For some people, this can be, you know, watching some TV and then losing track of time and procrastinating with something else. Because everybody has their own kinds of patterns and has their own kind of siren calls, if you will, when it comes to things that kind of lure us into, in this case, because it's enticement can be a problem, it could be negative behaviors that result from temptations. It could also be just things that are temptations that wind up straining you in some way or taking you off course in some fashion. Okay. So it doesn't even have to be quite so negative, as it might even just be something distracting, okay? So for some people it might be that kind of you know, couch potato scenario where it's like you get distracted by something else and maybe you could have used that time more diligently, okay? And the advice on that one was pulse check, which is the idea of checking in with yourself, making sure that you hold yourself accountable, okay? And again, like, these are all completely human things. You know, I'm not trying to be critical on your sign or anything. I mean, I'm just giving you the guidance that will help you for this month. But keep in mind again, it's like the enticement thing, I think it really underlies things a lot more. It's not as high of an energy. It's just something you want to watch out for, because if you're aware of it, you're going to be able to have much greater success with your day-to-day goings on, all right? Okay, so that said, I do personal readings. If you want one, hit the link below or go to hesultimage.com, spelled just like my channel, and I will see you later.